Hey there, what can I do for you? How about episode 14 of the Doofy talk through of Shiren the Wanderer? Last episode we were getting ready to go to the bar to meet up with Pecs. Hopefully he has some good news for us. I'm sure it is. As I said, now the game is more of an open world game because of these wagon drivers. Unlike in the original, this wagon driver can take us all the way to the end of the game in the Golden City, so that is another option. If you just want to advance the side plots as quickly as possible, and we're not going to do it super fast, but you can just backtrack all the way back to this guy, take the wagon straight to Golden City, finish the game, and then you'll be in a brand new run. Not a lot of extra stuff down here, just this farmer's house. Let's talk to him for a second. He is obsessed with getting a bride. A cute beauty, eh? I don't know if she want to marry a farmer with no nose. But again, look at the attention to detail, the clothes hanging up by the window. It's really nice. Other than meeting up with Pecs a couple times, the only major side plot in this town is the Smith's Apprentice side plot. So she will appear various different places throughout the town every run. And you want to talk to her every time because she eventually unlocks something pretty good. In the original game, the Smith's Apprentice was actually the Smith's daughter. But in this remake, they are unrelated, which introduces a little bit of sexual tension between Shiren and the blacksmith. Talking about being attracted to someone who she's close to. I can understand, big muscular sweaty blacksmith working next to you all the time. How can I compete with that? Keep your hands off my girl, man. Be seeing you around, dude. Alright. But yeah, there is a little bit of romantic tension between the blacksmith's apprentice and the blacksmith. And Shiren the Wanderer, a little bit of a love triangle. Before I go talk to Pecs, I'll talk to this old gourmet. He's given us a clue about another major side plot to unlock Bufu's cave. But let's see what Pecs has to say. Oh no, whenever your family starts talking about money, it's usually a bad conversation. Met a girl who wants money, eh? How much, dude? Did you meet this girl online? Is she Russian? Did she email you a bunch of pictures of her in bikinis? Alright, Pecs, $1,000. I've got it. I got almost 6,000. It's not a big deal. I'm sure I won't regret giving $1,000 to this guy. He'll take great care of it. Just as a general rule in real life, whenever you lend money to family members, you really shouldn't expect to get repaid. I mean, it's always a bad idea. It introduces a lot of negative feelings. Just make it a gift, and if they choose to repay you, all the better. If they don't, it's alright, because you weren't expecting them to in the beginning anyway. I find that's usually the best policy. Everyone has something new to say now that I am the proven chosen one. The barman is looking for his lost love, Mitsuko. He actually reminds me of the owner of the Chachamaru in Maison Ikoku. If any of you have seen that old show, or read the manga, which is equally good. We do not want to deal with all of the rice changers, so we're going to hop on this wagon, go straight to Mountaintop Town, which is where you advance the two major side plots. And in order to unlock Faye's final puzzle, which is our primary goal, we're going to have to unlock Bufu's cave and the Scroll Cave. And in order to do that, every time we come through town, we're going to go talk to Guy Bara, so he will unlock the melding jar, and every time we see him, he will invent a new kind of jar. The latest one, the pointless jar, is not entirely pointless. You can actually put things into it, but you can't take them out without breaking the jar, so not a super useful jar. Veterans of other roguelikes will probably recognize that a lot of Shiren comes from the original Rogue, which is the progenitor of the entire genre. And some things like the shop system and stores you find in the dungeons are borrowed from NetHack, which is another popular roguelike. The one new system that Shiren introduces to roguelikes is the jar system. And it's really pretty clever. I like it. It's like random containers. In Faye's Final Puzzle you'll see just how interesting it is, because the main task in Faye's Final Puzzle is to identify the different jars. But I kind of wish other roguelikes would borrow that system. They really haven't. Alright, we could just die on purpose or backtrack all the way to Canyon Hamlet. I'm just going to mess around in the game a little bit. Look, we see here's a monster house on floor 8 again, although it's not a Great Hall monster house. I might survive here, I might not, but again, in Shiren the Wanderer, not a big deal, as long as you're not carrying some item that it took you 7 or 8 hours to actually craft, and we don't have anything like that yet. All we have is that blast shield. That would be a shame to lose, but, you know, we'll find another one if we lose it. Alright, dog, you go in first. Tell me if it's safe. Hey, looks like the Death Reapers are dog lovers. Isn't that actually attacking the dog? I can actually shoot diagonally with a staff or my arrow. Damage the Death Reaper a little bit. I guess I'll demonstrate the meat system. I have this leftover Rhinodillo meat. When you eat meat, remember you become that monster. And you don't have access to any of your items, but you can use the monster's special tech. So in this case, the Rhinodillo has his butt slap. Go ahead and kill this guy. Only takes a couple attacks. Hey, less than item. Go ahead and butt slap this guy into another spike bomb. I don't have access to my items, so it's not really practical at this point to remain a Rhinodillo. I'll go ahead and revert. One of the differences in this game you've probably noticed is that monsters cannot pick up items. So that'll be important later on in Bufu's Cave. Alright. Don't really want to detonate this spike bomb when I'm standing right next to it. Hanzaki the Unhappy. Guess what? You are in a monster house right now. Sheesh. This guy needs to look around. Alright, it would be so awesome if I could detonate this and kill that unhappy guy. It would make my day. But I don't really have anything good to throw at the spiky bomb. I guess I could throw my blast shield. I could put on my blast shield obviously and just detonate them all. They only do half as much damage. But with Death Reapers there, it's slightly dangerous. Alright, I thought that Staff of Stability would actually maybe do some kind of damage, but apparently it does absolutely nothing. And I just missed with my Scroll of Blessing. Here's the Scroll of Confusion. I guess I would kill the dog if it detonated now. That's kind of sad. I might need this Scroll of Confusion, but... Oh, did 2 damage, but not enough to blow it up. You know what? I'm just gonna blow it up. If it kills me, so what? Hey, I killed it outright. Alright, another one. Let's see here. I'm gonna throw the Scroll of Blessing again. Maybe it'll detonate this time. Yep! And we took out the mage. You see that, dog? That's how you kill a mage with style. Alright. If I blow up now, I'll take out 3 other enemies, which would be pretty cool. But again, I think I ran out of things to throw. I'll go find something else. Hey! Another Staff of Stability. And a rice ball. Probably want to hold on to that. I could use the Doppelganger Staff, but then the Skullmage would probably level up and kill me. Switching Staff, doesn't really help me. I'll just go up and attack it by hand, I think. Yeah, there's nothing good. Alright, while I mess around here in this monster house, I'm going to talk a little bit about differences between the original and this remake. When you first play this remake, hey, a chain reaction just took out 2 more enemies. Your first impression is, oh, they nerfed all the monsters, they made it easier for the DS. And objectively speaking, you are correct. It's a little bit easier to beat this game, at least the main game. And that is because, as I said, they made the difficulty curve broader. So all the first dungeons are quite a bit easier in this as opposed to the original. With the exception of the Rice Changer and the Snot Piggy, all of the enemies in the original do quite a bit more damage. So it's a lot easier to die from just a random encounter with an enemy. Also in the original you encounter more dangerous enemies early on. Minotaurs, Ghost Radishes. Those are enemies that either you don't even run into in the main game in the remake, or you run into much later. However, this decrease in damage is counterbalanced in my opinion by the greater enemy variety. Especially these spike bombs. They don't show up in the original, they're a new enemy in this game. And The variety in enemies introduces a lot of new situations and makes you have to be more creative in the remake, which I feel is more true to the spirit of roguelikes. But some people are definitely going to be a little bit disappointed with the difficulty in this remake, because I can pretty much beat Table Mountain in the remake almost every run. I'd say probably 80-90% of the runs. In the original, I can probably beat the game, I'd say half of the runs. So it's not a dramatic change, but it definitely is noticeable. Not all of that is due to decreased damage, although a lot of it is. A lot of the decrease in difficulty is also due to the lower variety of items. It feels like every run in the remake, you're going to find at least one power-up scroll, at least one decent sword and shield, and probably a plating scroll. So you're going to have the equipment you need, as long as you explore the entire floor layout and get all the loot, to beat the game every time. I actually like that more. It feels like the game is a little more skill-based as opposed to just hoping that you get good items. But again, I understand if some veterans of the original are a little bit disappointed at how easy this remake is. Alright, I was just goofing around, but I made it through that monster house with a lot of loot. Here we see a giant room. Anytime you find a floor with a giant room like this, usually it means there's another giant room attached on the other side. And a lot of times, either this room or the other room will be a monster house, so I'm guessing that... Oh, hey! The girl has somehow come back to life after being vaporized by a tank. Let's try to get her to her family a second time. I could go straight down the stairs, but I'm gonna go ahead and check out this other room because I got a suspicion that it might be a monster house. This girl, not gonna survive a monster house, but I'll just look. Yep, that's what I thought. Another monster house. Alright, now this old man is blocking the way. That's not good. I'll just stand at the door so I can kill all the monsters. Oh no! Teleported away. This girl is gonna be so pissed off at me. First time I hid in a jar. This time I just teleported away. Oh no, she's getting pimp slapped by the skull mage. Hey, she made it out of the corridor. I thought for sure she was a goner. Alright, forget the loot. I'm gonna try to keep her alive for once. She's like, gee, mister, why did that skeleton slap me in the face? This is a good chance to talk about the appeal of roguelikes in general. And Shiren, in my opinion, is the best introductory representative of the whole genre. Even better than the original Rogue, because the graphics are a little bit more easily understandable. Oh no, I'm the worst babysitter ever. This girl's getting slashed again. Alright, not this time. I'm gonna head down there. Cut him off. Alright. I do not want this girl to die, so, yeah, I'm gonna throw this restorative herb at her. I've noticed that... Hey. Oh, you saw that Pumpkin Muppet did 10 damage to the girl. That's another big difference. In the original game, a lot of deaths are caused by Pumpkin Muppets because they do around 20 damage every time, depending on your shield. So they can kill you in maybe 2 or 3 hits, depending on your HP. And it's kind of a random death. If you're walking down the hallway and there's a Pumpkin Muppet, you don't have a pickaxe, there's really no way to escape. This game, usually you can get away. Alright, 2 flame guys. This is a perfect chance to use my doppelganger staff. Hopefully the other flame guy will go after my double. Nope. Decided to burn the girl. Man, these enemies are jerks. Alright. Oh, this girl is so unlucky. Getting burned and punched. Maybe she's not gonna make it. I think she's almost dead. We'll see. Oh no, she just got burned again. How is she still alive? Alright. Can't slow him down. I got a Cairo. Let's see, I'll just attack it. I've noticed that in order to understand why people like roguelikes, we really have to go even deeper and talk about why people play video games in general. And really there are only 4 reasons people play video games. Hey, you know what this means? It is reborn! My Polon +4! It rises from the ashes like a phoenix. Now that I'm restored to my former glory, I'll talk about why people play games next episode on Shiren the Wanderer. Girl, you'll be back home soon. I've killed you so much can't count all the ways you've died for me, girl, and all they can say is, let's burn her behind. Tanks never get tired of shooting you down, and I never know when I look around what loot I will find. Don't let them burn your behind. Don't you know, girl, you'll be back home soon. Wait, you just died. Never mind.
Gee, mister, why did that skeleton slap me in the face?